Yo, what's up guys? You got PokeaimMD here with a replay from the Smogon Premier League. I have TDK versus CDUMAS. Now, I was actually going to record this live, but I ended up going to the store and I didn't come back in time. But the game ended up finishing by the time I came back. I don't know how the game played out. I do know the results, however, but I figured I'll do commentary on this. Like I said, I did want to catch it live, so in the future, I will be trying to catch these tournament games live because I believe it's, pretty... It's good gameplay, and it's better for the player that's trying to get better to at least see tournament games. So both of them are really solid players. If you actually look at team preview, TDK is bringing like this hard balance, borderline semi-stall type team, whereas CDUMAS has Sand plus Volcarona, which normally would be threatening to most of the Celesteela Toxic archetype. I can see it being PokeaimMD, Volk. Another one it could be is Savage Spinout, which I think is pretty important for getting rid of Pokemon like Garchomp, Zygarde. But the team doesn't really struggle with Zygarde either because he does have a Mew. Anyway, one potential problem for TDK could be Z Excadrill if it ends up being Swords Dance Z. Then again, though, if it's Z Excadrill, it's not Z Volcarona, which I think you have to run Z Volcarona at this time or day and age. I don't see him being something like Chartyberry for Scarf Keldeo because he has outs for Keldeo, which are Amoonguss. So I'm thinking maybe a Z Volcarona at that. Lando could be Scarf. It could be defensive for Zardex, but he does have T-Tar, which is also the Mega, which means that Excadrill does have limited sand turns, but TDK has a switch in for a lot. Like even Z Excadrill, while it could be a problem if it's SD, Iron Head, Earthquake, if it's running Rapid Spin, which it might be as last move just because while Mew also has Defog, Landers could also have Defog, it's still a Volcarona being ran on the team, so you want to be able to get rid of those rocks for it. But Volcarona would definitely have been threatening if it was an HEB ground set, if he didn't have Chansey. And yeah, it looks like TDK has an answer for a lot on his team. Gliscor is also going to be a pretty big problem for CDUMAS. Though Ice Beam on Mew, or potential Ice Beam on Mew, which I'm pretty sure he has just because of Zygarde and whatnot, as well as Volcarona to threaten it, could be pretty... I don't know. I think the matchup is in TDK's favor. I definitely think the matchup is in TDK's favor because every bit of damage that TDK takes on this game, he can recover because of Alamola's fat Wish Passing. Even Chansey has the option of Wish Passing, whereas CDUMAS does have a reliable recovery in... Sorry if I'm saying your name wrong, by the way. I just didn't want to say it the way that Blunder says it. While Mew does have reliable recovery in Roost, the rest of it doesn't. So knockoff from potentially Scizor, Alomola, Gliscor can be threatening him. Toxics running around, status from Lava Plume burns and whatnot. It's all pretty threatening for him, whereas TDK actually has sponges for it. He has Poison Heal Gliscor, as well as, like I said, Wish Passing, and potentially even Heal Bell and Chansey, though that's kind of counteractive to the Poison Heal Gliscor, especially if Gliscor gets knocked off by something like Lando. So if you guys actually want to see the replay where I'm not pausing it turn per turn, feel free to check it out down below. I'm just giving my thoughts as if I was live commentating it and this was team preview. But let's get right into the game. So we see an Alomola lead versus Amoonguss. Now this is a fairly safe lead for TDK. Nothing on his team OHKOs it. In fact, if he wanted to, which I'm pretty sure he won't, but if he wanted to, he could even sleep fodder here just to go for Scald Burn, just to knock off Amoonguss. But TDK ends up switching out to Zapdos. Really good play. I don't think Zapdos was doing much in this game. I think as a flying type, Gliscor is a lot better versus his team. So doubles out into Heatran as the Tyranitar comes out, and TDK decides to scout right here for potentially Earthquake, maybe Bandit Sewer Power, as we do see an Earthquake from the T-Tar. And we are going to see a Mega in Pursuit. So very solid play on his part. That chip is really going to matter, especially because Heatran is a really reliable answer to a Pokemon like Mew as well as Amoonguss. So chipping away at it with that Pursuit, really smart on his part. But we do see the Gliscor come in. TDK actually not fearing the Ice Beam at all, but I'm pretty sure Spinef Gliscor would eat it anyway from Mega Tyranitar, and any damage on T-Tar means no sand for our opponent. Another thing that I did not mention, though I don't know if it's SD. If it is SD, it's probably SD U-turn, though SD Knock also works, especially if it's not Defog Zapdos, because it could be 3 attacks Roost Zapdos plus Defog Scizor. Scizor actually is a pretty big problem for our opponent too. So we do see the Ice Beam come out. TDK makes a good switch into Heatran right here. So really solid because if he wanted to go for rocks, he could if he had it on this and it's not Chansey. But we do see an Earth Power reveal 4 times weak to that, but Heatran ends up eating it up right there as he is able to land a Will-O-Wisp on Mew. Really, really crucial, especially because Pokemon like Alomola could knock it off. as we are going to see a protect. Now, I think right here, that was a misplay. I believe that was a misplay because Pursuit guaranteed knocked out Heatran. Yes, there was the option of him going for Pursuit for Protect, and I think what CDUMAS wanted to do was get up rocks on the Protect from Heatran, because if he did get the leftovers, it would be a roll at Pursuit. Pursuit, if it did the half of what it did before, it would be about 22%. So he's obviously at 18%. The Protect failed last turn, so he could get a Protect, but I think this was a misplay, and TDK definitely capitalized on it because he gets a burn on Tyranitar, and that just means that this Mon is not going to be doing any damage at all this game, so he can go directly out into his Gliscor now. CDUMAS didn't even bother pursuing there, as, I mean, it wouldn't have been killed if it does half of what it did. So he could defog right now with Gliscor, revealing that it is indeed defog Gliscor. So Scizor is more than likely looking like an SD variant, and with if rocks are up or if Volcarona is weakened, a Pokemon like that could just put in a lot of work versus him. So we do see Chansey come out as he just throws off Seism Toss. Really smart play. No point throwing off any status, especially when the two Pokemon you want status on his team are status, as he can go directly onto Gliscor. And he takes that Iron Head. So leftovers on Excadrill. Really interesting though. It lets it take hits from Koko, reliably switching to Koko better, though he does have Amoonguss. And we are just going to see Earthquake come out. But this is really like I said, I feel like that burn on the not going for Earthquake with Tyranitar, I can understand him, like I said, predicting the Protect. That way Pursuit would not knock him out. But I think he lost so much from that turn. And Chansey's basically able to just come in and click Seismic Toss right here. And every single time Excadrill goes for Iron Head, which is a really smart play, wearing down the Gliscor. Gliscor has reliable recovery anyway, and Toxic Orb as well as Roost. So Lando comes out, goes for U-turn, leading to believe that it might actually be a Scarf Lando at that, as Mew is going to come out. But again, he always has that Chansey. He can even go Alamola, and this is what I was talking about. Like, Alamola is so fat, and the fact that Zapdos is already asleep, even Pokemon like Amoonguss aren't going to be doing any damage to him at all. Alamola can just Wish Pass or go for knockoff, as we are actually going to see the knockoff revealed on Aloe. So maybe it's not Toxic, or maybe it's knockoff Scald or knockoff Toxic. Either way, he can Wish Pass right now. He could even stand on Amoonguss if he wanted to. Another play he could have made was even went hard into Heatran there, because Heatran was not going down. But he actually opts to go for the knockoff, which I think is smarter in the long term of things, especially because you don't really need Tran too much, and it does give T-Tar a free switch-in. And at this point, with no recovery, especially with the Sand also working against them, the Amoonguss is going to be worn down really quickly, especially if he gets off maybe like a Scald Burn later if he has it. So Gliscor on the Tyranitar, really smart, because he's always going to be able to defog, and Mega T-Tar is almost in range of Earthquake. I believe after the next Earthquake, or if the next burn turn, it is in range of Earthquake. So, and this always gives him a chance as a switch. And so very, very nice double on CDUMAS' part, getting an Excadrill. Though I think at this point it's kind of do or die, since right there, as you see, Iron Head's still not doing enough, and even at +2, it's not doing enough. So I think what he's trying to do is keep the Gliscor as low as possible for the point of SD. So that basically Excadrill can try and SD up, because I'm pretty sure it's SD, and just do some damage to the, or try and sweep through the Gliscor, because once he breaks through Gliscor, it's still not over yet. He still has to do Alamola. He still can't knock out Scizor, but Scizor doesn't do much unless it has like Super Power, Earthquake, or anything like that. Earthquake, Super Power. I said Brick Break in my head, but I haven't seen a Brick Break Scizor since DBP. But very solid play. He's pretty much putting up or keeping up the pressure on Chansey, and he's forcing it to recover, which gives him rocks on a turn. But even then, like, he can either just click Seism Toss right here, which is actually really solid, because he is able to get the Mew upon switch. And I think what he was going for was maybe the Gliscor switching so he can get a recovery. But I don't think Chansey had any reason to not click Seism Toss right there. It's already at full. So right here, we do see the Excadrill come out and go for SD. And I think at this point, he needs to hope for flinches if he wants to break through the Gliscor. But he gets the crit immediately, doesn't do enough, and the Excadrill is gone. So Volcarona comes out. TDK makes the very smart move of going just hard Chansey right there. Keeping Gliscor alive means that he can't spam Earthquake with Scarf Lando, so it always gives him potential Roost. He can always come in on T-Tar later. So very solid play, just going right to Chansey. And at this point, if he has Toxic, he's just going to reveal it. So I think that CDUMAS is just going for the do or die right here, trying to break through Chansey with the Z move. potentially, and we do see a protect come out. And that was a really solid protect turn because he actually ended up being Inferno Overdrive. So let's go through the Chansey's move real quick. It's Soft Boiled, Seismic Toss, Toxic, and Protect. So just to ensure that he gets that wish from Alamola, or just in case Alamola has to go down or something like that. It even helps him scout for Z-moves. Also helps scout versus Pokemon like Lele. So I actually really like Protect on this Pokemon. And right there, it did 17. It did 17. And at this point, it would have done so much. Might have even put him in range of the next Fire Blast. But at this point, all Chansey has to do is go for Soft Blow. And if he wants to, Chansey could just go for Protect right here, not to risk crits, which is what TDK ends up doing. And at that point, you have I'm pretty positive is Scarf Lando. You have the T-Tar, and it looks like CDUMAS ends up forfeiting. So I know that this is how the end game. Because when I came to the game, this is what I saw. I knew that he won, and I knew that this is the turn he won. But at that point, like, CDUMAS has nothing to break through. So TDK ends up winning. Like I said, I feel like TDK had a really great matchup, and he played it super well. Like, he played the matchup very well. He didn't have to. I don't think he really had to predict that points. It was more so, okay, Mew's going to go for Ice Beam. Let me go out to my special wall. Okay, Tyranitar has physical attacks. Let me go out to my Gliscor to take that thing on. Defog the rocks away. Knock off with Alamola. So I think TDK played it super well. Was definitely a good game. I think that the one turn that really hurt him, CDUMAS, was the Will-O-Wisp turn on the Predicted Protect. So that was a very good play on TDK's part. Because obviously he expected him to go for Protect. And I think that, I understand him trying to get a Brox there. And I don't remember if at that point we revealed that it was Defog Gliscor. But still, really well played on TDK's part. I hope you guys all enjoyed the post commentary. I did my best to keep up with the game. Again, I think it's a lot better when I can do it live. And I can give my thoughts as the game is going down. But still a really good game. And I definitely expect wins from him, CDUMAS, as the game, or as the season progresses, because he's a super solid player, and so is TDK. But like I said, I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye, friends.